Well, good morning. So we are officially 31 days out from my second ever bodybuilding show. I am competing again in classic physique. We are at an all-time low weight this morning. I sent check-in pictures to my coach. He did increase the food on 2 of my meals for the day, but I'm gonna show you breakfast first. Breakfast has been the same for a good bit now, so I have a good idea on how to make that. I've laid out everything as far as I can tell, so let's get into it. So I'm officially out of spinach and mushrooms, which is what I have been using in my omelet. But we're gonna use peppers, onions, frozen mix. Anyways, this is the spray I've been using. I am going to show you that I don't use a ton, and I also have this paper towel that sits here, and I wipe off the excess because I want to keep my fats as controllable as possible. So I don't like to leave a ton on there. So I'm gonna oil it up just a little bit. This is my first time using the peppers and onions. So hopefully that works out well. Pan's been going for a minute here, so it's a little bit on the warm side. Just do a little bit just for some flavoring. So as those start to crisp up, I'll show you what I do with my eggs as well. So I used to pour the eggs into a cup on the scale and measure it out that way. But honestly, I have found that it works better and is easier to do if you'll put the whole container on the scale. And this also keeps you from dirtying up an extra dish that you'll have to wash. So, egg whites on the scale, zeroed out on grams. You're going to take the egg whites, pour them onto your cooking dish, and remeasure. So that will give you, obviously it's a negative value because that's what you poured in there, but you're looking to see what you get out of that. So that was only 130 grams. I have to do 250. I know I was gonna run out, but in order to figure out how much the container weighs, I put that back on there. So I'm at 188 grams. So I'll just subtract that from the next one. So 0 out of fresh container. So we were at 180, so we need what? Boom, right on the money. So once you get that total weight that you're looking for, I actually do my eggs kind of slow. So once you get them on there, they're going to take a while. I also like to add my whole egg to the top because I like it to stay a little bit runny in the yolk. Right now, fats taste amazing because I am low in fat right now. I believe my typical fats are only at 20 grams for the day, but today is an increase in fats, so that number has changed just a little bit. So as that cooks up, I do add in everything but the bagel seasoning. Probably my favorite thing to add onto eggs. And I am pretty generous with it. You know. Another thing I've been adding has been turmeric. It's supposed to be good for inflammation. You know, it adds a little bit of color to it. I don't know if it makes a huge difference, but it's something I heard is good for you, so I've been giving it a try. So as that sits there and cooks, we will get started on the rice and grinds. So the eggs are going over here. I'm going to make rice and grinds now. I get 30 grams of carbs from rice and grinds, so you do have to weigh it out because your serving size may vary depending on what you have. So do the math on it. Remember, your weight on the scale is different than the actual grams of carbs that you get from this. So make sure you plug in the math and get the correct number. I know that I need 39 grams of weighed rice and grinds. Because one serving is actually, I believe it's 39 grams of carbs. So 51 grams of weight is 39 carbs. So make sure you do the math on it so that you're not off on your diet. So the way I do this, once I have that number, I'm going to pour water in it. No, I do not measure the water anymore. I used to, but honestly, I do this a little bit differently than when I started. So once you get the water in the rice and grinds, this is kind of a multi-step thing. You're going to mix it around, make sure all the little rice grains are wet, and you're gonna microwave it. Give it a minute in the microwave. You're gonna mix it again. And I do that until I get the consistency that I'm looking for. And then I'll show you what I do with the protein powder. So depending on how much water you add, will change the consistency of your rice and grinds. So today, the amount of water I added only required me to microwave it twice for 1 minute with stirring. So I've got a consistency like this, slightly runny, but still a good consistency. So once we're here, the way that I like to add the protein powder, I get a shaker bottle and I use as little water as I can to dissolve the protein powder, and then I pour that into the rice and grinds, mix that up together, and then back in the microwave for another minute. So protein powder is mixed up. I am doing peanut butter for both. So this is 100% grass-fed whey from Jack Factory, peanut butter flavored. I get 25 grams of protein. So do your math on that. So like I said, get a good thick consistency on your rice and grinds. I've mixed it up, 1 serving, 25 grams of protein from the peanut butter protein. As you can see, it's not a whole lot in there. So I'm gonna take that, dump that straight into this. Obviously that adds a lot more liquid and volume. So you'll see what it turns into once you microwave it. So after a minute of microwaving the protein and rice and grinds, you get the protein to cook just a little bit like that. That's what you want to see. So once you see that, mix it up again. It should start to thicken up on you. And if it's still super watery, just put it in for another minute. So I've almost got the consistency I'm looking for. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my blueberries this time. I get 50 grams of blueberries. I do use wild berries, frozen. But measure out your 50 grams. All right. Once you get your 50 grams, obviously they're frozen, so they're gonna cool down the temperature of your rice and grinds and all. So after I do this, I'm gonna mix them into it and microwave it for another minute. All right, so blueberries are in. It's out of the microwave. This is about the consistency I'm gonna end on. I do like it to be a little bit on the runnier side, personally. I don't like it to be super, super thick. Just makes me feel like I get to eat more of it. And it does kind of thicken up as it sits. I eat it after my omelet, so it definitely thickens up as it sits on the table. I like to add a little bit of cinnamon to this one. So when I do the peanut butter and the blueberries, I give it like probably 3 dashes of cinnamon. Also added some cinnamon to the protein powder when I mixed it up. So really, I guess it's like 4 dashes of cinnamon. I'm a big fan of cinnamon. I feel like it's got some health benefits, but in reality, I just like it because it tastes good. Off camera, I did pull the omelet because it looked perfect and I wanted to get it off before. So there's the omelet. I am gonna add my salt to it now that it is cooked. And I do now measure my salt. I did not at the beginning of prep, but now that we're getting close to the end, I do measure my salt on all my meals. So I get 1/4 of a tablespoon. So I'm going to top my omelet off with a little bit of sugar-free, or I guess no sugar added ketchup. 10 calories per serving. I really don't put probably even a full serving on here. I have measured it out before, but I know just about what it looks like every time. So I just give it a quick little dash like that. And at this point in prep, even that tastes amazing. So we've got our 250 grams of egg whites, 1 whole egg. I did add the assortment of peppers and onions, turmeric, and everything but the bagel seasoning, and then no sugar added ketchup, and my pink Himalayan salt. Then we've got the peanut butter, rice and grinds, and peanut butter protein from Jacked Factory, as well as 50 grams of blueberries and some cinnamon. This is my GI support. I'm gonna finish this off. I've already had my greens this morning, and then these are my morning vitamins. We've got 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C. We've got our B complex. We've got D, and we've got magnesium to make the D work. So I'm going to crush this meal and I'll be back with you in just a minute. So my pre-workout meal is going to be chicken and rice, classic. Like I said earlier in the video, he did increase the fats and carbs for this meal from what it's been. So It's a little bit more rice, and it's adding an oil to this meal, and I'll show you what that oil is whenever we get done cooking. So, pro tip, I guess not a pro tip, amateur tip. When you're cooking your chicken, I'm a big fan of just cutting it up with scissors. It is significantly easier than having to dirty up a cutting board and go through all that. Just cut it up. This is chicken tenderloin. I get the bougier brand of chicken tenderloin at Walmart. They have free range chicken. I know some people think that doesn't mean anything. Some people think that's just a marketing scheme. Either way, I at least feel better about getting the better quality meat, even if they are lying to me. This one has been good tasting, so I'm gonna keep running with it. All I did was put a little bit of that avocado, 0 calorie spray in the bottom of this pan. I'm just cubing it up into little bite-sized pieces. I get 6 ounces of this chicken, and that is cooked weight. So whenever I get done cooking, I'll cook a whole pan of it, and then I'll weigh out what I need afterwards, and what's left over is left over. This is not the way that I've been doing my chicken throughout this prep. I've actually been doing my chicken in a crock pot most of the time. I've been putting it in the crock pot, about probably 4 of these packs, 3 or 4 packs, I can't remember now, in a crock pot on high for about 4 hours, and I put chipotle seasoning all over it. So typically, I do my chicken and rice kind of Mexican style with some lettuce and cilantro and peppers and stuff like that, and onions. So that's typically the route I go. Today I didn't have any prep, so we're cooking it from scratch. Today we're going to do more of an Asian theme just to change things up. So I've got some liquid aminos over here and some sugar-free teriyaki from GQ's. Both are phenomenal sauces. So we'll actually use the liquid aminos as we cook them, and then the teriyaki will be added once they're done cooking over the top, because I do like to weigh out most of my sauces that actually contain calories, just to make sure I'm not splurging more than I think I am, because you'll be surprised, if you've got a heavy hand, you'll be surprised how much you accidentally use. Now, obviously you don't have to do it every single time. Once you do it a couple times, you can look at it and can tell, okay, this is 1 serving of X, Y, and Z. But weigh out how much sauce you put down. It'll definitely surprise you. Just don't let it depress you. But I'm gonna finish cooking this up and weigh out my chicken on top of the rice. I do already have rice prepared. Typically I've got that on hand, so don't have to wait around for that. But all right, so super simple chicken and rice meal. You've got 150 grams of jasmine rice, 6 ounces of chicken tenderloin. Then I've got 6 grams of macadamia nut oil. I topped that off with some liquid aminos while I was cooking the chicken, some sugar-free teriyaki from G Hughes, and I did measure out only 1 serving of it, which is 5 calories, and then also topped it with some pink Himalayan salt. So that'll go down. Then we'll mix up our pre-workout, our intro workout, and head to the gym. All right, so chicken and rice is down. Typically I have that meal 90 minutes pre-workout, and then, you know, I've mixed up my pre-workout, my intro workout, and typically I'll drink my pre-workout either right before I get to the gym, or if we do a little warm-up, I'll drink it while we warm up. But today we're training chest. I'm meeting a buddy of mine up at the gym. We've got chest and tries. So today's workout is gonna be structured a little bit differently than my last chest day. All right, finally headed back to the house. I completed today's chest workout, little chest and tries, and then had to do 20 minutes of a brisk walk. And I chose to do that at the park, right down the street from my house, because it's such a beautiful day outside. Get some sunlight and get a base tan going on for the show. But I'm starving, so I'm gonna get home and show you the post-workout meal. See you in a bit. Post-workout, we get 50 grams of protein. I picked peanut butter again. Surprise, surprise. 50 grams of protein from whey protein, which I mixed in this shaker bottle. And then we get 50 grams of carbs from a cereal that is low in fat. So this is the one that I have chosen for today. I think I found this at Publix. Typically you can find it on a deal. So look at the back, make sure you do the math. I know that in order to get 50 grams of carbs, I need 57 grams of weight. So in order to figure that out, go to the nutrition label, take the weight of the serving size, which for this it's 40 grams, divide that by the amount of carbs that are in the serving size, so 40 divided by 35, then you get the number that you're going to multiply by the amount of carbs that you need. So do that. Got 57 and some change. So we're gonna pour cereal, till we get to 57. There we go, 57. So once we get there, obviously shake the protein up. And the protein is going to be your milk, essentially. At the beginning of prep, I used to take the time and try to chill the protein powder and make it more like cereal. But at this point, I'm so hungry I could care less. So I'm going to pour that all over the top of this. And typically, so that I didn't leave out any protein, I will add some more water into the shaker bottle, shake it up, and drink this watered down protein because I'm starving. All right, back in the lab. So this meal consists of 100 grams of rice, jasmine rice, 7 ounces of chicken, and 50 grams of organic sauerkraut, good for the gut. It also contains 4 ounces of organic bone broth from beef cows. I did, however, already drink that because the way I made it tasted so good. Typically when I prep this meal, the rice will actually soak up most of that bone broth, and when you warm it up, everything else soaks it in. It keeps everything nice and moist, so you don't even really notice it, but full of protein, full of nutrients. So we'll weigh this out. 100 grams of rice, like I said. This is jasmine rice. Too much. All right. 100 grams right there. So 100 grams of rice. Let's add the 50 grams of sauerkraut. The sauerkraut was something that was kind of weird to me at the beginning of prep, but I've actually grown to enjoy it somewhat. So it's supposed to be great for your gut health. So that is why it's in the diet. 50 grams, there we go. Last but not least, we've got the chicken. Hopefully we have enough. If not, I will just make some more. But this meal is super simple. Yep, we do not. So I'm about to make a little bit more chicken. But keeping this meal simple, don't really feel like, cooking anything to add with it, but we'll warm this up and eat it. So I decided to get a little bit more fancy after all. Ended up doing 1 serving of salsa in here and added some cilantro, some lime juice, a little bit of no sodium taco seasoning, and then I added the amount of sodium that I'm supposed to have per meal, and lime juice if I didn't already say that. But I'm gonna crush this meal and then I'll see you for the next one. All right, so back again for another meal. This one is also a very simple meal. It is just shrimp and rice. Luckily, I believe I have enough prepared. So let's take a look. I think after this meal, it's safe to say I need to make some more rice. Typically I make 3 cups of uncooked rice every time I make rice. So it'll last me, I don't know, probably 2 days right now. Maybe 2 or 3. Sorry, my prep brain is getting to me. All right, and we've also got shrimp. I did already prep the shrimp. So I get 7 ounces of shrimp. So let's hope this is enough. If not, I will eat what I have here, cook the remainder, and then eat it following. But if I remember correctly, this is enough shrimp. Because I'm pretty sure I weighed it whenever I cooked it. Yep, so we are 7 right there. So we got 4 little shrimps left. So this is a meal that I've been eating just about every day. Very simple meal. I do also add pink Himalayan salt to this. The shrimp is coated with some turmeric, some red pepper flakes, and some liquid aminos. And then what I've been topping it off with is this sweet chili sauce from G. Hughes. This stuff is the bomb. I, of course, measure out my servings like a weirdo, but I do go ahead and microwave it first. If you microwave these sauces, most of the time, they don't turn out that great. So I try to get the food warm, then put the sauce on it, and then maybe microwave it for just a little bit. But obviously this is gonna take significantly longer than this is to warm up. So let me get this in the microwave and I'll be with you at the table. All right, so she's nice and hot. I know I keep mentioning that I measure out my salt, and that is something that we added to the prep. So I've been doing a 1/4 teaspoon to all of my meals. So I just take this little thing, 1/4 teaspoon, and usually shake it over top of the meal. Trying to make sure I don't add too much or not enough, because we want to make sure we still get good pumps in the gym, that all of our organs are operating properly. Ooh. Alrighty, so 30 grams of this stuff is 1 serving. So I usually just spread it around a little bit. One thing I did do, which I'm pretty sure this is the one that I tried it on because it's coming to an end. I actually watered the sauce down a little bit because it's normally very thick and it's hard to get it out of the bottle in a controlled fashion. It just kind of blobs out. So I actually added some water and made it a little bit more friendly to pour instead of, glob. So like I said, this is the finished product. We've got 7 ounces of shrimp, 100 grams of jasmine rice, topped off with some pink Himalayan salt, some G. Hughes sweet chili sauce. And like I said, when I did cook the shrimp originally, I used some liquid aminos, some red pepper flakes, and some turmeric. So I'm gonna crush this meal, and then I'll see you for the final meal of the day. Well, I almost forgot I was making this video, but dinner is actually no carbs involved. We pulled the carbs, I don't know, a couple weeks ago at this point, but it did change over to beef. So this is 96.4 ground beef, which I've got it seasoned with salt, some red pepper flakes, and then I've got, as you can see, no sugar added ketchup and some mustard. At this point in prep, this is the closest thing to a burger that I have. Over here, I've got some veggies going, squash, zucchini, and some asparagus that I'm getting nice and crispy. I honestly prefer them as crispy as I can get them, and I will eat them after the ground beef. Beef is gone, and now we're fixing to crush all these veggies. Added a little bit of Tony Sasseries on top to give it a little kick. I sure do miss those Cajun fries from Five Guys. Well, this wraps up today's full day of eating. I plan to do more of these videos, even if the diet's the same. I have come up with many ways of eating the things I ate today, and maybe you found something today that interests you. Maybe you didn't. But tomorrow, I'll bring you another full day of eating, and if anything, it'll help kill some time while you're doing your morning cardio. I figured it would be funny to end this video with doing, just bodybuilder things and shaving my legs. It's getting that point in prep where the details matter. So, I guess that wraps up the video. If you've got any suggestions, if you've got anything you liked, anything you didn't like, go ahead and leave me a comment. And subscribe. I'll be uploading more videos similar to this one. If you've got other content ideas that you'd like to see, just let me know. I'll be ready.